What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and if you've been watching any of the Fortnite channel YouTube videos recently, you may have noticed that ever since V19.20 has released, except for the most recent two videos, including this one, the background footage has been some very interesting Fortnite footage, where instead of, just playing out a normal match in bot lobbies, me and friends have been going around, throwing tires at random objects, and watching as the objects either flail around and just go get shot in the sky, get slid to the side, whatever it might be, or do nothing and just have the tire bounce off of them. And now I know, of course, the background footage right now is Dying Light 2, but the thing is, there is a specific reason for why I've been doing this, and firstly, I want to say it's not the reason we're going to be talking about in today's video, because simply put, the reason I've been doing it in the background footage is it's a lot of fun to do. It's a lot of fun to mess around and fling yourself up to the heavens. But what we are talking about in today's video is the specific reason on why this phenomenon might actually have started happening in the most recent few updates, and what Epic Games might be doing to actually patch this out in the near future. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video by firstly referencing some other objects that weren't supposed to be flung around, but were being able to flung around by the use of a tire. The first object is the Foundation statue, aka the Mighty Monument, over at the Sanctuary. This one was the main thing where everyone found out you could throw tires at stuff, and what people were doing was just throwing a tire at it, whether it be the legs, the head, just anywhere on this actual object itself, and we're either shooting it up to the skies or just having it tip over to the side, because for some reason physics was enabled on this object, but only when you hit it with the tire, meaning that in reality, if you wanted to, and if you were able to get your RNG with these tire throws perfect enough, you could take the Foundation statue and push it to the other side of the Fortnite island entirely with the use of one single tire, as long as the tire doesn't glitch out, despawn, or anything like that. However, the second object that was not supposed to be able to be physically moved around or anything that people found out about is the fans at Covert Cavern. Now, the thing that was interesting about this is the fans are those giant things in the air vents that you can go up and down to go in between, the top of the mountain and inside the mountain where Covert is. However, someone found out that if you threw a tire down there and it hit the fan at the bottom, it would actually make the fan go underneath the map, allowing you to dive underneath the map. And now this wasn't overpowered or anything, because if you were underneath the map for around a minute, you would just instantly end up dying and getting sent back to the lobby. So it wasn't that useful at all, but it was still very interesting to see that these were able to be modified using a tire. Now, the reason why this might be is actually it might have been related to tornadoes and lightning strikes coming to the Fortnite island. And what I mean about this is that there are a lot of items that have physics towards them that are going to get picked up by the tornado, so it makes sense for these objects to get flung around. However, it appears that the objects that don't get flung around are blacklisted as blacklisted physic props, meaning that Epic Games has a specific list of props that they don't want to be, thrown around or whatever it might be. And what I think's going on here is that they had some props that they forgot to add to this blacklist, but the tornado never touched those anyways, or whatever it might be due to tornado strength, that it never really mattered. So because of people finding out about this tire exploit, Epic Games had to hotfix some of the major props out there that they didn't realize were movable to not be movable, just so people wouldn't throw them all around the island, lag out games, and all this stuff. But because of them using a blacklist system instead of a whitelist system, there are a ton of props out there that Epic Games simply hasn't thought of, blacklisting or anything, that you can throw a tire at and make them bounce around. So it appears that whenever a tire is thrown at one of these objects that has physics enabled and is not blacklisted, the object thinks that a tornado has just hit it, so it gets flung around as if a tornado is inside of this miniature tire. And now this is obviously a guess, this is my theory based on all the stuff in the files, but imagine this. Imagine if those chunker off-road tires are so powerful that you're going around and putting tornado wheels on your vehicle to go around the island. Think about this. You're going around here and you're throwing tornado wheels at vehicles. You're throwing it at random objects on the street to see if they bounce around. You're throwing it at the Foundation statue. Maybe our worst enemy on this island isn't even the IO, but instead some crazy chunker wheels made by some unknown facility that put the power of a tornado inside of it. And now what I think Epic Games is going to be doing going forwards, of course, is working on, for V19.30 and onwards, fixing it so tires no longer make objects fly around, which personally sucks because I really find it funny to, grab some tires, mess around with some friends, find the weak spots in certain objects like gas station signs, the butter barn sign, or even random, just parts of trucks and stuff on the street and see if you can fling yourself up to the height limit and even beyond, just because it's a lot of fun. So we all know Epic Games is going to fix this, so might as well go in game and enjoy it now. And the reason why I think they haven't just pushed out a fix already to fix it entirely is because I feel that since they're going on a blacklist only system, they would have to manually find every single prop in V19.20 that can be modified and moved around by tires and blacklist it. And if they were to do that, tornadoes might not actually work anymore. So I think they're going to be working behind the scenes on modifying the tires itself so that this doesn't happen in future updates. So yeah, it's just a very interesting glitch that started happening very recently, but it's one of the best glitches I've ever seen in Fortnite, and it's actually made the game a lot more fun. So for today's question comment of the day, I want to know down below, what do you think about this tire exploit, and have you just been finding the weird objects to mess around with it, or have you just been kind of ignoring it? If you've been finding weird objects, what is the best one you've found to hit with a tire? Totally not so I can hop in Fortnite with some friends and find that specific object and mess around with it for myself or anything, wink wink nudge nudge. But with that said, if you enjoyed today's YouTube video, consider subscribing to support the content I create and clicking the video down in the bottom right when it shows up. That will take you to my commentary YouTube channel where I do Let's Plays of the Binding of Isaac Repentance and random rants about stuff like Grand Theft Auto 6 being announced. But with that said, I'll see you champs and champettes tomorrow. Peace out.